is every moment is so valuable to me. That time, I could be dead tomorrow. And you have to think that way. And if you think that your time is limited, that you have things to accomplish, business to start, books to write, podcasts to start, right? You're going to force yourself. You're going to find the energy if you realize.
We have mastered the art of timing. I find that one fascinating too, because I think today we're living at a time when people either think it's too late, it's too early, I'm not sure, it's not my time. These are the things I see on social media. These are the things I see people express. How do you master the art of timing? What does that mean?
Well, in an abstract philosophical sense, let's pull back a second.
Yeah.
Time is a human construct. Time does not exist. In the universe, it's eternal. There's no clocks. There's no beginning or end. It's just one massive thing of time that goes on forever, right? We humans have created time. So it's subjective, it's psychological. So you know the experience that when you were a child, a year seemed like a million years. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Now a year goes like that.
I go so fast.
It's subjective, right? So you have to understand that first, okay? So when you're excited about a project, when you feel alive and energized, then time is a much different experience than when you're bored. So you can create your relationship to time, right? So I'm not ready. Well, there's a strategy for that. You should always take action a little bit before you are ready, is the advice I give. So if you're not ready and it's really a huge task, okay, maybe wait a little bit, take steps to get closer to being ready. But several months before you're ready, go ahead and do it. Try it, because you're going to rise to the occasion. If you feel like you're almost ready and then you start, you go, but I better work harder because I know that I can do this. Whereas if you think, I can never do it, you'll just give up. You don't want to give up, right? So I have in the book many examples of people who forced time. I call it forcing time. So I talk about Julius Caesar and the famous crossing the Rubicon, right? He had an army of only like 5,000 and facing Pompey, his arch enemy, who had an army of hundreds of thousands. And to cross the river means he's starting a war. And everyone's saying, it's insane, don't do it, you'll never make it. And he goes, the die is cast, and he crossed the Rubicon. The war was on. And he knew that doing that, he would have to think every moment, give it all of his intense thinking, and he'd have to reach the conclusion. And he ended up pulling off one of the greatest military victories in history. Look at Barack Obama, a senator who'd only been in office for one term. It's 2007 or so, and he decides to run for president. Everyone thinks you're insane. You're not ready for it. No one's going to believe you. You don't have enough weight behind you. He goes, doing this step will force me to work harder to gain that energy. Yes, if he was a state representative, it wouldn't have been time to force it and try and make it happen. But he'd already had enough preparation, just enough, that he knew if he took that step, something would happen. The energy, the excitement, people would catch it. It would be infectious, and it would work. And look what it did for him. So you can be over-ready. You should always take action just a little bit before you think that you're ready for it, right? So, and then the other thing is to realize that with time is that you want to feel like you're in control of the time that you have.
Yes.
Right? So I call it alive time versus dead time. Dead time is where you work for other people. You have no control over it. Your time is not your own. It's their time. They possess you. You're almost literally their slave, right? And alive time is that your own. You're your master of it. You control it. So when you work for yourself, which I think is the best position in the world to be in, although it's not for everybody, you kind of control your own time. Every moment is alive. It's precious, right? So for me, I practice this in my meditation, in my daily life, particularly since I almost lost my life a couple years ago, is every moment is so valuable to me. That time, I could be dead tomorrow. And you have to think that way. And if you think that your time is limited, that you have things to accomplish, business to start, books to write, podcasts to start, right? You're going to force yourself. You're going to find the energy if you realize your time is short, and you have to kind of force it in a way and not be sitting back on your heels and continually waiting. So I tell people, if you have a dream, maybe stop waiting so much. Maybe throw yourself across that river and go and take the action. And if you fail, you will have learned 80,000 times more than you would have learned in business school. You start that tech startup, it fails. Don't worry about your reputation. You learned the incredible things in it. So don't be afraid of failure and be willing to always kind of force the time. That's sort of one of the art of it.